Imagine a company website is running vulnerable software, and an attacker sends a malicious request. Only seconds later, they can execute commands on the server. This is called remote code execution, and is widely considered the most dangerous vulnerability. In this video, I'll explain exactly what RCE is, why businesses fear it, and demonstrate a real-world example using Drupalgeddon in a safe lab environment. RCE vulnerabilities have been responsible for major compromises around the world. They can allow attackers to steal sensitive data, install malware, deploy ransomware, gain complete control of systems, and destroy entire operating systems. Above, I am demonstrating how RCE can be used to browse an operating system. RCE flows like a life cycle. The diagram above explains this. First, an attacker must find a vulnerability in an application. For example, an SQL injection. Once the vulnerable application accepts the malicious input, malicious command can be executed on the server. This allows the attacker to gain access to the server. One famous example of RCE was Drupalgeddon 2. Drupal CMS is a free, open-source content management system, CMS, used to build, manage, and scale secure digital websites and applications. The exploit targets a lack of input validation within Drupal's renderable arrays system. I'm now going to demonstrate this exploit in a controlled environment. I use SearchSploit to see if I have the exploit on my local exploits. I do, and it is contained within Metasploit. I'm now gonna search it up in Metasploit and load it up. I find Drupalgeddon 2 and prepare to exploit the machine. I now select the options that suit me. I set the R host to the target VM on my local NAT network, and I set R port to 80. I then exploit the VM after setting autocheck to false. As you can see, we have gained a shell on the remote machine. This, my friends, is remote code execution at its finest. I'm now gonna execute some commands and have a look around. I drop into a Linux shell from Metapreter so I can interact with the system and spawn a standard shell. I use Python to spawn a bash shell on the system. I now start executing basic commands on the system to get a grasp of my operating system and what is in the same directory as me. I run the standard commands that an attacker may run as they gain access to an operating system. Unfortunately, this video is about RCE, so we're gonna have to cut this off here before privilege escalation. I used the DC1 VulnHub VM to demonstrate this exploit today. Now imagine this wasn't just a lab. Imagine this was your business, or where you work's business. This could be an e-commerce platform or a company website. You could suffer all sorts of damage. You could lose sensitive data of all your customers, leading to serious repercussions, or could even have your server destroyed by malicious attackers who are intent on causing mass damage to your assets. RCE poses a serious threat in countries reliant on digital infrastructure, such as here in the UK. Now you may be wondering how you can protect your business or your site from malicious attackers who have tools such as Metasploit at their hands and are intent on causing you or your business damage. There are multiple ways you can do this. You can hire penetration testers to test your system for problems. You can act on these problems quickly before hackers take it to their advantage. Say a penetration tester discovers out-of-date software. You should get this updated as soon as possible to ensure it is not vulnerable to previous exploits. Have a read of the above to ensure you are confident with methods such as principle of least privilege, which grants only users the access they need to perform a task. And now we are back where we started. Let's summarize what we have covered today. RCE is a serious vulnerability that allows attackers to execute commands remotely. It can lead to full server compromise. Vulnerabilities like shown show why patching systems matters. Understanding RCE is essential for both attackers and defenders. If you're learning cybersecurity and penetration testing, we put together free learning pathways covering Python, Pentesting, and more. You'll find them linked below this video. Thanks for watching, and remember to check out our pathways and like and subscribe.